We are a church on the move, and we want to introduce people to the real Jesus. As we know God deeply, we grow in freedom so that we can discover His purpose for our lives, and we can go out and make a difference in the world around us. Today, we got some stories of that very process in action. First up, we'll talk to John Posey about the 180 student mission trip to Los Angeles. Then we'll talk with Rebecca about how God is using her story to make a difference in the people around her.
My name is John Posey. One of my jobs is I get to oversee our missions and outreach for students. This past July, we took a group of 24 students and small group leaders to LA to work with LA Dream Center. There's the famous Hollywood scene that most people think about when you go to LA, but there's also a lot of homelessness and, hurting. So you kind of got to see both sides. We had a lot of fun during the evenings, but during the day we got to help out a lot of different people. Most of them come back, on fire for God. A lot of them have kind of experienced Jesus, met the real Jesus for the first time on these trips. And so when they come back, they want to get plugged in at 180. As a leader on these trips, you get to sit back and watch God do something through these students and in these students. It's been so cool to see people just really hearing from God on kind of the next step in their life or affirming things in them that they didn't necessarily believe before this trip. The same thing is happening in our adult services is happening at 180. As adults are going through the process of Know, Grow, Discover, Go, as they're jumping into small groups and not just leaving it up to the person on the stage to do the ministry. The same thing is happening in our student ministry. Our students are just hungry to get involved, to go and introduce people to the real Jesus.
This is Rebecca. She's one of our family ministry's Go Team members. Rebecca had a difficult time in high school. Her parents got divorced and she fell away from God.
Everything that I had known came crashing down. And so for me, it was just trying to find whatever I could to cope. I wanted to feel good. I wanted to feel loved. And I just looked for it in all the wrong places. And at 19, I found myself pregnant. I felt empty. I felt worthless. I really did just come to the end of myself.
In the depths of her loneliness and despair, she decided to pursue God like never before.
As I pursued God, I found that the closer I got to Him, the more whole I felt. All of the things that I was looking for were found in drawing closer to God.
Rebecca's life was transformed by the real love of Jesus. But that's not the end of her story. Today, Rebecca leads small groups in our junior high and high school classes, helping girls walk through the same struggles that she walked through in high school.
Now I get to go make a difference every week in the lives of students. Sometimes I walk in and I sit down and they look at me and assume that, if you're a leader at the church, then you've had a perfect life. And shattering that for them it's kind of fun for me. It's about allowing God to use you and allowing God to use what you've been through. I get to be that person that cares, that talks to them, that pulls things out of them, that kind of helps them look at it from a different perspective. I love getting to love on girls and to be used. I think it's incredible.
We think that's pretty incredible too. Thank you, Rebecca, for letting God use your story to help introduce people to the real Jesus.